Today on Everyday Injustice, we have Hakeem McFarland. He is a motivational speaker, a wellness coach, an author, and the founder of Choose Yourself movement. So let's start with what is Choose Yourself movement?
Well, it's a movement to inspire others to embrace the version they were created to be before society tried to make you someone you're not. A lot of times we live in this image of projections and judgments and all these proclamations from people in our past, whether it's our school, whether it's our parents, whether it's our ex, whether it's society, whether it's religion, whether it's money, whether it's looks, achievement, status. We chasing all these external things. But when you start to choose yourself, you attract what's in alignment. If you start to chase to fulfill yourself, you usually forget the assignment that's within us by our creator. It's all inside. So choosing yourself is finding that power within, because you can't go without going within. And the movement starts with the mindset, which is your relationship between you, yourself, and your creator. Then the community, we meet every Tuesday at 10 a.m. to share stories, testimonies. We do 2 retreats a year. And then the mission is to impact humanity for generations to come. So it starts with the mind, ends with humanity.
So maybe unpack a little of that. So what do you do at these meetings?
Well, we share successes, challenges, testimonials, and we go over the Choose Yourself philosophies, which starts with mindful consumption, finding your balance, breaking free of your addictions, and managing the time around your sleep. All things you can control in every single day. So we provide lessons, resources, other guest speakers. We got a guest speaker coming on tomorrow. We had one come on 2 weeks ago who heals people through theta brainwave. And so I also have a podcast as well where I meet a lot of other self-choosers, and then we overflow into the Choose Yourself community. But really what I realized in making this community, I talk about it in my book, Choose Yourself to Be Chosen, is when you make a claim to others, you now have to deal with the BS that's inside by not doing what you said. But when you make a claim to yourself, you justify emotions and excuses, and then you never give yourself the consequences. So I made a community as an integrity loop so you can come make a claim to people who give a damn. And then when you decide to hit the snooze or eat some BS or complain, you can now hear yourself lying about what you said and not doing what you said, because we care more about our reputation to others. And that's what I've learned through my story. And that's why I created a community as an integrity loop.
So how'd you get here?
You know, life, man. I've been going this right way. This is how I'm supposed to go. I'm supposed to go this way. But, we all live a life, and then we hit a breaking point to a dark place. Then we go to a turning point. Then you can pull yourself out. If you do it authentically, then hopefully you don't hit a breaking point again. But if you do it by masking or numbing or complaining or latching on to others, then you're going to hit another breaking point because you didn't do the healing. So we go through breaking point, dark place, turning point, breaking point, dark, and many times you got to. I did it anywhere from 3 to 10 times, depending who's counting, but 3 major ones in my life. First one was grief. Second one was pain. Third one was solitude. And in the third one, I developed the Choose Yourself process, which comes in 5 pillars. And now that's what the foundational mindset of my book. That's what I speak about all the time to people I coach. That's what we talk about in the CYC, is the 5 pillars that were developed from my darkest days to my light, where I had embraced solitude. So really life put me here. And now I use my story to develop systems, methods, and techniques to now help you embrace your story and stop putting up with your own BS.
So can you unpack that a little more? Like, tell us, what you went through when you went through solitude.
Yeah, solitude. Well, eventually we all get to a point, if you don't choose to change, life will force you into changing. Whether you lose your health, you lose time, you lose relationships, you lose money, whether you lose freedom, whether you have a health scare, whether you have a near-death experience or you do die and come back, whether you have a new life, a new kid, a new city, a new relationship, something gonna make you change. If you don't, then ain't nothing gonna change. So it starts when I was 16, I experienced grief, lost my little brother. He was 6, I was 16, and I buried it under sports the same day I played basketball. And so ever since, as long as I had that mask to play basketball, I didn't have to deal with the grief. So then I just pent up and put an emotional shell safe around anger, resentment, and shame. So those became now how I presented myself. And that's then how I saw the world, which then now reflected those emotions back into me, which is why if you don't deal with your BS, you'll be stuck in it until it hits you in your ass. So you got to sit with it and deal with it and do what the hat says. Get over it and get after it. That doesn't mean neglect it, abandon it, or bury it. That means sit with it, process it, and accept it, and then get after it. So the sports was my mask. Eventually, the anger freaking tore up my relationships, health, and time. So I went from D1, D2, dropped out, had 5 knee surgeries. Then I was back at my mom's. That was my first dark place where I started partying and numbing. So I had the mask of sports, I had the numbing of partying, but eventually I got to a point in my dark place where, like I said, got done dealing with my own BS. So I went back to school, to a third school. Went back 4 years, got All-American, got my bachelor's degree, wanted to go play NFL, broke my ankle, went to my second dark place. I lost my identity because the mask was gone. I no longer had sports. Now I got to sit with it. Or you can numb it. So I did, numbed it even more. So now I'm numbing it in my third dark place. And then eventually I ran out of health, time, relationships, money. Everything was gone. Touchdowns, people, women, no party, nothing. Got locked up 8 days. That was enough for me. I did 8 months, then I got out for 30 days and I went back to do another 8 months. But the first 8 days of my second 8-month stint, I was in solitude because the whole jail locked down. So I didn't have a pen, pad, notebook, shower, phone call, nothing, sitting in there by myself. And that's the worst kind of solitude because those beds are unforgiving and the water tastes and smell like shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, basically, what went through your mind as you're kind of hitting rock bottom?
Well, at first you want to blame and complain. I can't believe. Well, first is withdrawals. First you have withdrawals. It don't matter if you take substances or anything. That doesn't matter. You have withdrawals from the old version, and you're in a place of unfamiliarity. So day 1, withdrawals. Day 2, you want to blame and complain. I can't believe the judge, my dad. How could my brother? Nah, they can let me in. Blah blah blah. Don't nobody give a dang. Everybody going through something. How do you treat somebody when you're going through something? That shows your true character. Don't be like, oh, I'm sorry, I had a bad day. I'm sorry I lashed out at you. Fine. Apologize. Don't do it every time. And the third day, you try to fit in with whatever because you're sick of going through withdrawals. You're sick of blaming and complaining. You're like, okay, I want to find somebody to latch on to and then still cover up and deny everything I'm going through. Because if I just be a part of this group, or I keep dating with these people, or I start consuming this, or I go with this club, and then I can just heal from them. And no, you still, nope. And me, I started gang banging on the block. Yeah, let me out. Y'all better, I swear to God, blah, blah, blah. I'm not a gang banger. I'm from the suburbs. But I tried because I was lonely. I didn't know what I was going through. And by the 4th day, I said, all right, I'm going to choose myself. Then I went sober for 18 months, developed the choose yourself process. Now I give it to others. But that's what went through. Withdrawals, blame and complain, trying to fit in, accountability, 4 days.
So, in your view, do you have to hit rock bottom in order to make these changes, or can people figure out a way before that happens?
Well, you can go to a damn ceremony and be inspired. You can read a book and be inspired. You can hear someone's story and be inspired. That's some way as well. But it depends on how bad your programming is. Because sometimes that only lasts for a little bit. And it don't even last for long. So you got to implement the systems. Now, one way to do that is to put routines around your sleep, which help you develop the traits to then be able to continue to choose yourself because you have literally systems that show you choose yourself, your hygiene, your space, stretching, meditate, exercise, read, journal, prayer. These are choosing yourself. They're actions you can measure that are all delayed gratification. Now, life will trigger you. I mean, life will put you in your dark place and trigger you to choose yourself. But if you tap into my page, Big Dream Hakeem, hopefully my content can do that for you. And then you can tap in with the accountability group. Then you can meet me on a retreat. Then you can read my book. See, this is what happens when you start to develop your gift, passion, and story. That becomes the driving factor and the motivator. And I try to help people do that now. But do you have to hit rock bottom? No, there's people who haven't. But you will hit rock bottom. Everybody's rock bottom is different. You got rich kids in the suburbs who break their phone and can't freaking leave the house. That's rock bottom for them. But you got somebody who's never drank water in 3 days. You know, that cup of water is more valuable than a billionaire with 3 jets just getting a new one. So it's all about perspective. And the dark days depend on, you know, how much self-neglection you've been doing up to it and how long it takes your head to get cracked open before you start to turn inward to your creator.
So, in practice, what does it mean to choose yourself?
Yeah. Well, what you doing in solitude aligned with what you doing around people? If the version you are by yourself, the one you're most happy and comfortable being, can you be that around people? If you're sloppy, lacking commitment, and dirty around yourself, and then you go out in public and you try to act all clean, there's going to be friction because you're creating an image for others, and you rather be sloppy and dirty. Now you can do two things. You can take accountability and change the dirt and the slop, or you can keep living for someone else's expectations. Or you can show out dirty and sloppy and go align with people who are dirty and sloppy. And that goes like anything. So what you do in solitude then sets the standard for what you allow other people to treat you. You talk to yourself like shit, you will allow other people to talk to you like shit because you'll attract people who talk to people like shit. It's your self-belief. It's in your aura, it's in your energy. So the systems you put in solitude, how you treat yourself, your curfew, your digital sunset, your bed, how you treat your gut, your consumption, your fridge, what's on your feed, who you follow, the conversations, that is choosing yourself because that is the image the boundaries you create for the world you're about to go into. Either let people in or keep them out. So choosing yourself is putting the systems in place to develop the character that will allow you to acquire and capitalize on the opportunities that are in alignment with the version you want to be.
So, what does the typical person that goes through your program look like?
Typically, it's someone who has a desire to embrace who they are, who's done trying to fit into the societal norm, feeling uncomfortable in the workplace, feeling uncomfortable in their relationships, feeling uncomfortable in their financial life. Typically I say 25 to 55-year olds, but in the choose yourself, and what I do is speaking at high school and speaking on stages, and now I'm about to join a nonprofit, Harlem Choir. Harlem Choir Boys is possibly, don't quote me on that, maybe in the works, but to get a part of those nonprofits and those communities where we have a direct impact on kids is the next mission and vision. Is obviously to change the world, you change the next generation. So I just continue to speak in truth, and whoever is motivated, that's not my responsibility. Whoever's triggered, I don't give a dang. I'm connected to me, my creator, my story, my purpose, and I'm gonna just keep speaking it. And that's what I try to help other people do.
Why do so many people struggle to put themselves first without guilt?
Conditioning, programming. You're supposed to be, you got to go to school, then you got to sit down, then stop singing, stop drawing. Okay. You need to raise your hand to speak. All right. Oh, you either pass or you fail, or you follow the law, or you go to jail, or you go to heaven, or you go to hell. None of that shit is even real. It's all man-made construct. Now we don't even know how to make a choice confidently because there might be consequences. Somebody might not like me. Oh my God, I might not get the job. Oh my God, my mom might not accept me. Oh my God, I shouldn't. Choosing yourself is how you realign before you destroy your design. And that's what it is. And the fear is of opinions of others, fear of change, fear of unfamiliarity, fear of the opinions of others. That'll keep you where you're at. But when you start to embrace discomfort, then it doesn't matter how uncomfortable the conversation or relationship is, you still find a way to get over it and get after it. But a lot of our program is not made for us to choose ourselves. A lot of our program is made to be in a consumption loop. You need caffeine to wake up. You need processed food during the day. You need something sweet after you eat. You need to binge scroll. You need to binge watch. Now you need melatonin to sleep. Take a drink, a shot of wine, shot of whiskey, or smoke some weed. Now you ain't never been yourself all dang day. Consuming. So what we do 3 times a year is 30 days without sugar, liquor, weed, porn, sex, nicotine, caffeine, no gambling, no processed foods, no condiments, no gluten, and we fast for 1 day a week to make sure you are in control so you don't get caught up in that consumption loop where now the processed food and the toxins in our food, the glyphosate, now the toxic people in our life full of lip fillers and BBLs, now the toxic food in our kids' diet, now the toxic content on our screens, including the news, does not create friction inside. It doesn't create inflammation to where now we're scared to even make a choice because we don't know who we are. So break free and then find your balance. Because I also like to celebrate and have fun, but you just can't be thinking about it all dang week. Otherwise, that would be called addiction.
So, tell us somebody's story of someone who's turned their life around.
No, we have I'll tell you about a self-chooser. We got a self-chooser who came to the CYC about a year ago. And when she first came, she had a difficult time with her story, with her oldest child, with her parents, and with herself. And so there was a lot of discomfort and self-sabotage to match the belief of self-worth because of what other people expected her to be. And through the community, through weekly support, connection, through prioritizing the time before and after your sleep, through constant, oh, fell off, come back 3 weeks later, oh, I'm tapping in, oh, I'm kind of in, I'm kind of out. Now, the gray area, the transformation area has now dissipated. Now she's fully committed and she's launching a business. She's launching a podcast. She's doing more content online. This is stuff she couldn't do. She didn't even know where to start and didn't want to. But she had a plan to, but never started, never had the desire, motivation. And now her kids are bringing the same tools of choose yourself to their girl study groups in school. Now we talking about transforming a family, transforming from the matriarch down to the kids out into the world. That's how you know it's true vision.
What is the most important component of what you guys do, in your opinion?
Authenticity. That's it. The most important component is that you remain true to yourself, and not the self that you was trained to be, the self that you are created to be. And it's not about becoming something. It's about unbecoming everything you're not. And that takes a while. And it's a never ending process as well. So authenticity is the most important thing. How do you do that? You do what you said you would do when ain't nobody watching. Not, oh, I'm gonna wake up on time, hit the snooze. That's not authentic. You just skipped yourself first thing in the morning. Oh, I'm gonna drink water. And then you go straight to coffee, but you ain't drink water. Your mind, your subconscious, your creator is always watching. You're gonna put some BS on your dang breakfast sandwich. Now you're mad you're groggy and bloating in the middle of the day. I thought you wanted to change. So choosing delayed gratification over instant is a big part of being authentic, because you're putting time on the end of your life, which is the best thing you can do for yourself, because you can't create time unless you invest your time right now into yourself to add time on the end of your life. So authenticity and making those choices in solitude, which will help strengthen that.
So tell us about how you've worked your platform and been able to expand your vision that way.
Well, first, when I started, I was just talking bullshit online, trying to motivate people because I couldn't motivate myself. And when I had to pull myself out of my dark days, I was listening to motivational content on YouTube, like David Goggins, Eric Thomas, Denzel Washington, Will Smith, Andrew Tate, Tony Robbins, all the basic stuff when you first get started, the gurus, the best ones, the best ones at motivating. And I would find that their motivation would get me to get up. And I was like, how the hell did somebody words online make me get up when I didn't want to get up? I want to do that for people. So I started spitting words online. But like I said, with the CYC, the integrity loop, I was talking online Monday through Thursday. Then I would party Friday to Sunday. And then next time I had to post, I felt my integrity got shook, because I was like, I can't go out here and tell people to choose yourself. Well, it wasn't choose yourself then. Choose yourself was developed 3 years ago. I've been doing motivational content since 2018. I've been doing content since 2008 overall. But the choose yourself, the motivational concept and development, the motivational topic, ideology of what I wanted to do instead of comedy and talking trash, turn it to motivational, was what really forced me to follow through with my word. And that integrity loop of speaking it online and then not doing it on the weekend eventually pulled me out of my dark place, because I cared more about what other people think than what I thought of myself. And that's the same thing that I now see in the CYC. So as that continued to grow and I started speaking in my truth, speaking about my story, speaking about things that are relatable, speaking about the underlying root of everything, which is self-evolution and mastery of the mind, regardless of what you call it, more people started to align with me. And the more creative I got, The more I did it, the more creative I got. And so a combination between authenticity, contribution, consistency, and creativity is what helped me grow to 400,000 plus people on all platforms.
What is the most surprising thing that you've seen?
And I've seen, dang, ever? Shit, I've been in New York City 4 years. Man, that's crazy here. Most surprising thing I've seen.
I mean, within the scope of your work.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've had someone recently tell me he was homeless and he's watched my videos every day and now he's not. I've had somebody tell me that their husband was battling cancer and only wanted to watch my videos and he beat cancer and he claims it's due to my videos. I've had somebody tell me that my videos have helped their kids with suicide prevention. And to me, this is surprising because I don't know what people are watching. All I hear is what happened. They're like, oh, you helped my kid with suicide. I'm like, what the? If I would have ever stopped because no one tells me, I wouldn't be helping lives, which is why you don't do it for other people. You do it for yourself and your purpose, especially as a man. Not about views, likes, not about girls, not about money, although all that stuff comes. But if you do it for purpose, then you're able to move through those things with discernment instead of getting caught up in it. So those are few of the most surprising comments I've gotten, man, because you don't realize how much you're impacting people. And there's probably people who we've both impacted that haven't even told us and probably never will. I've just like the names I listed earlier, I haven't told any of them how much they changed my life and impacted me. And they probably have that by the millions, especially Goggins.
How can listeners begin the process of choosing themselves today?
Okay, there's a 5-step process. First one is the turning point. That's when you got to say, okay, I'm going to change something today. I'm going to change something today. Then the second step is evaluate your environment. What you're watching, what you're listening to, what your body smells like, what your house smells like, what your breath smells like, what you're saying to yourself, what you're saying to others, who's around you. Evaluate it. Right? Sit down, write it down. You can literally just write it down. Take 10 minutes about what TV shows you're watching, what type of content is on your feed, what type of food and drinks and smoke is going in your body, what type of nighttime routine you have, how much doom scrolling are you doing at night, what type of books are you reading. If it's none, that's a problem. So you evaluate your environment, you sit it down and watch. Then you say, which one do I want to take out first? Now, this is where the third step comes in, the foundation. Because the foundation is where you set your intention. Now, the foundation is from your curfew to your first obligation. The pillar is curfew or kick out time. You either kick company out, you put your kids to bed, or you get home. First step. What time is that? Then you have the tasks you do before you go to bed. You do those after your curfew. And then the next pillar is digital sunset. Plug your phone in across the room so you can't hit the snooze. And then from your digital sunset to your bedtime, you need a nighttime routine that starts to activate melatonin and circadian rhythm. So those are your 3 pillars of the nighttime routine. Then you sleep, then you wake up. In between your alarm and your first obligation, you do something for the mind, something for the body, something for the spirit. That's the foundation. This is what I help people construct. It's a simple foundation because in here, you increase the discomfort. You increase new neural pathways. You increase the excuses and the quitting mind. And it's small tasks like, I don't want to get up. I don't want to stretch for 5 minutes. I don't want to write this down. Oh, I just want to go to coffee. I just want to go to scroll. Oh, I just want to snap at my boss. I just want to complain. It's the same damn voice. So you put systems to increase the volume on the voice so you can control it and then choose yourself. But if you scroll to sleep, wake up, start drinking and eating bullshit, you not got no systems. You're still consuming. So when you evaluate your environment, figure out which one you want to eliminate. And then in your time before and after your sleep is where you find out how you set your intention. You plan for the day. So if you gave me an example, I can help you right now.
So it sounds complicated,
Yeah.
and it can be daunting to be facing, those kind of inner demons and outer demons. So what do you tell people? I mean, what if I say, hey, look, man, there's a lot of things I want to change, but it sounds hard. What do you tell me?
Ain't nobody coming to save your ass. And there is a balance. You can be the reminder of what for us, for what not to do. Thank you for your purpose. You're gonna dwindle and die. Or you can choose yourself and put the excuses down, especially as a man. Women got hormones and emotional, all that, but men, I don't want to hear it. There should be finance, fitness, and faith. Those are the focus for all men. Because in order to bring safety back to a woman, we have to be in our divine masculine. Now, you know what else is hard? Being lazy. Because now your knees hurt and your back hurts. Hard to be in pain. Which one you want to choose? You want to choose the discomfort of discipline or the discomfort of gluttony and sin and obesity and laziness and dependency? You could choose either one. Now, you start by taking time before and after your sleep and see if you can even dedicate to that, because ain't nobody watching you. Can you put the damn screens down? Put the phone down, turn the video games off, turn the porn off, and turn the dang binge watching off at 8:30 and go to sleep at 9. Try that. Try doing that for once. If you can't do that small ass shit, then ain't nobody else gonna be able to save you. If you can't wake up and write down 3 things you're grateful for, brush your teeth, and do 2 push-ups, ain't nobody coming. You can't even beat your own mind. Unless, oh my God, I got to catch a flight. Now I can wake up on time because I'm going to go on vacation. Now I can get up on time. Oh my God, I got to get to work so I can work for someone else. So I don't want to be late. So I definitely wake up on time, but you won't wake up earlier for yourself. That's the problem. So if you can't wake up earlier or invest $1 a day to join the CYC, ain't no reason for anybody else to invest in you. Like I said, what you do for yourself is now the standard you allow people to treat you. If you treat yourself like shit, you neglect yourself and your health, guess what happens when you go in the world? You're going to be consuming things that are in alignment with that belief. And that's your own fault. And your God is watching.
So what's your role in this?
Disciple of discipline, facilitator, connector, and creator. I create a book, podcast, retreats, community, conversation. I speak on stages, any type of channel, any type of container I can do to get the message out there that was instilled in me by my creator. That's my role. I'm just a facilitator. It's not my message. I'm just good at delivering it because I embrace it every damn day. That's all. Facilitator.
So what would you say the success rate is?
Of people who do all the systems, 100%.
100%?
Yeah. If you set the foundation, your life will change. Now, where you are in that shift, it all varies depending on your goal. But we just had 30-day challenge where we had people quitting vapes, weed, alcohol, coffee, sugar, condiments. They've never quit it before in their life. But because we stay connected in the foundation every day. Now, granted, if someone was to do a 30-day challenge and they went longest they've ever done, but they didn't do the 30, that's success. If someone has hit the snooze for years and they skipped the snooze twice this week, that is success. Success is in the journey. Now you aim for perfection because it's impossible to be perfect, which means then failure is guaranteed. And the key to success is to fail, but then to get over it and get after it and do better next time. So if you put these systems in place, these are scientifical, physical, psychological, biblical. It's simple. It's not easy though.
All right. So for people listening, how do they get involved?
Well, Big Dream Hakeem on Instagram, TikTok, Hakeem McFarland on Facebook. ChooseYourself.info has the membership link and my book. And my podcast is called The Choose Your Soul Show. The next retreat will be domestic in America in spring, so stay tuned for that. Only taking 20 spots. And if I want to give you any advice, I would say start with your morning routine.
Is there any cost for participation?
Yeah, $1 a day for the CYC. First week is free. My book is $25. Retreats are anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000. And we got free content and free podcasts. Whatever level you're ready, we got it for you.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us this week.
Thank you. Always great to have these conversations.
Yeah, we've been talking with Hakeem McFarland. He is the founder and what do you call yourself?
Creator.
Evangelist or what?
Yeah. Hey, founder and facilitator.
Facilitator. All right. Of Choose Yourself. This has been Everyday Injustice. I'm your host, David Greenwald. Join us again next week for more tales from the injustice system.